Hey, it's Ellie. Welcome back to another Sims 4 apartment speed build. So this is actually the very first apartment I built after getting City Living, the expansion pack. And it's when I realized how much I like building apartments. You'll notice I'm not putting any doors in this apartment, and that's because I made this for a bachelor sim, a male, and yeah, I figured he wouldn't really care about doors because he doesn't have a family that he needs privacy from or anything, and it looks pretty cool. Now I'm doing the wall color, and I didn't notice at the time, but I realized later that I had chosen primary colors for all of the bedrooms in the apartment. And I just decided to kind of roll with that theme in the rest of the house because the sim was also going to be an artist, and so it just kind of fit together because he's the type of artist that uses big geometric shapes and bold patterns, so the primary colors really suited the style that I thought he might have. I also really liked the whitewash brick that I chose for the rest of the walls. It looks really good with the industrial theme that the rest of the house goes for because the City Living expansion pack came with so many good options to make an industrial style apartment or house, so it really worked out. The pipes from the expansion pack are especially awesome. I love them. And this rustic floor actually went really well with the style of the house too, which I liked. Here I'm doing a bit of an office in the foyer area. I figured that would work out for him because, like I said earlier, he doesn't really have any family that he needs privacy from. There's not going to be a lot of people walking in and out of his house, so it doesn't really matter where his office is. He'll get peace and quiet anywhere. I also put those architecture paintings up because I thought the sim would draw a lot of inspiration from architecture in his artwork style. I don't know, I'm getting a really strong like man bun vibe from this sim. I'll make him sometime, I guess. So now I'm working on the kitchen. As you can see, I chose the bright red counter with the stone countertop and base. Now, for this dining room area, I try to do something kind of cool here with the booth seating, and then I run into trouble with the table. The wood grain didn't go the same way when I put it into the L shape, and that really bothered me, so I tried really hard to get a table that would go well in this spot, and I finally found one, but it turns out the Sims can't actually use the table or the seats in-game. So that was kind of a bummer. I end up changing it later off the recording, and you can see the final result in the screenshots at the end. It doesn't look like this L-shaped seating in the uploaded gallery version. I think also I go through and I make one of those blue curtains yellow just to mismatch things up and make it a little more artisty. All my apartments end up pretty crazy at the end. But this might be one of my favorite kitchens that I've ever done. I really like the layout of the kitchen and the way the room is situated. It just flows really nicely, and it looks like the kitchen has a lot of space. This apartment in general is actually really big and spacious. I was surprised at how much I could fit into this apartment. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and a pretty big kitchen, which is fairly impressive for an apartment because you would expect it to be a lot smaller, and with the confined space it's much harder to fit everything in. So these wood columns I love. I've used them in almost every apartment I've built so far. For some reason in my first build I didn't realize they made the taller version, so I move object shaded them to make them the full length of the wall, but I thought they made a really cool effect behind the stove, and I like the outcome a lot. The living room is pretty basic, just making it sort of uncluttered and simple, because as an artist, I would assume this guy doesn't spend a lot of time in his living room. He probably spends most of his time in his art studio in the back of the house. That's that yellow room, which I'll build later. So there's not a lot of clutter in this living room, though there is this huge shelf of liquor. Well, I think it's called nectar in Sims, but you know. For the decorations on this little sidewall, I end up going with those paint circles because I love the effect they gave. Like someone just went up to the wall with their paintbrush and drew a giant circle on them and then just left it. Like they didn't do anything else. So I made that little design there, and I really like the way it turned out. So I end up going with these cool neon signs that work out pretty well. They go with the other neon signs that I put on the other side of the wall, and then more industrial pipes to pull it all together. This is the main bedroom for the Sim who lives here. It's a dark red, very masculine, with the primary color theme still running through the house. It is quite a spacious bedroom as far as most of the bedrooms I build goes. But I was trying to cover up these art plaques in the house. They are meant to be remnants of the past tenants, but you can't delete them, and they didn't really fit with the rest of the house, so I did try to cover them up, and there are a few more in the rest of the house as well, so I did my best. I used these wall dividers from, I think it might be the Dine Out pack, that worked so well for creating a sort of private doorway without actually having a door. Like, you would have to try pretty hard to sneak around and see into this bedroom if you were trying to peek on someone. So I felt like it was pretty private. If you for some reason did have guests over, it wouldn't be a total peep show. And that gave this really cool sort of closet effect to the back of the room. Just worked out really nicely using those. So I used them through the rest of the house to make more doorways, making the huge wall of liquor. And I think I almost forgot lights in the whole house. I am really bad about putting lights in my house. Like, I don't know why, I just don't think about it all the time, which is strange because you have to build in the dark then if there's no lights and it's hard to see, but I still, for some reason, don't remember it. It's probably because the light engine in Sims 4 is so much better than the Sims 3, so if there's good windows, there's a decent amount of light in the house. This is the guest bedroom that I'm working on now. I left it really simple in general because it's the guest bedroom, and I figured no one would really be in here that often, so he wouldn't really spend that much time decorating it and furnishing it, but it does still go with the theme of the rest of the house, and those yellow wood column things on the wall give it a really cool effect in the room, and they go really well with the other dividers. But it's still a really nice room if you have a Sim or a Sim family that you think would live well in this house. And finally, for the studio, so I started off with a huge wall mural because of course you would paint his wall, and then you need the easel. It's just a bright yellow room, so inspiring. It's got this amazing view of the city that would help any artist make something amazing, and trying to cover up those stupid art plaques again there, so I end up putting curtains in that room, even though I don't like the look of it so much, but it was better than having those plaques exposed. And I decided that looked a little too circusy there, so I ended up going with just plain red. And I used the wall divider with this circle in it because I thought that looked really cool, and like he wouldn't actually need privacy in this room at all. So yeah, it just worked out. Tons of paint cans and clutter just everywhere in the room. But it's not too messy because he still needs a good space to work. I used these cool wall strips to make that cool effect. They're like neon, they light up, and it looks really awesome. And it definitely fit with the bold shapes and patterns type of art style that he was going for. In general, this house just seems to scream artist bachelor to me, which is perfect because that's exactly what I was going for. So yeah, I think that's about the end of this speed build. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Make sure to subscribe to my channel because I post Sims videos every Friday and Saturday. I am going to be doing a new build series of the Newcrest town, which is an empty town in The Sims 4. I'm going to be filling all the lots of the town with community lots and houses, and then I'm going to be making families for all the houses and playing through the town. So it should be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to get that started. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video, but until then, bye!